Hi, and welcome back to Jody Drawn Out. Well, I wanted to introduce to you two of my newer characters. Normally we color in my interactive coloring calendars, but I do have some coloring books out as well, and I wanted to introduce them, and I promised my grandson, hi Hayden, that we would start coloring in one of these. So this is Payton, and this is Milo, his friend. Payton is an ant, and Milo is a butterfly, and they are best friends. So Payton and Milo were inspired from my ants calendar. So for the last year now, everything I do is ants and now butterflies. So these are kind of the characters and what they look like. And I think it's helpful so that if you're coloring in one of the coloring books, you kind of know what the characters look like and a little bit about them. So the first one that I did, it was Payton and Milo go to Starbucks, and that's why he has a Starbucks cup in his arm. And the second one that just came out a few weeks ago is Payton and Milo go to the beach. So Payton got his name because I'm always Payton. So that's how he got his name. And Milo just sounds really good with Payton, so that's where they got their names from. And so we're going to be using watercolor pencils today because we're going to start doing some coloring in Payton and Milo Go to the Beach, and it's printed on cardstock, which means that it's compatible, or the paper is strong enough to handle some watercolor pencils. If you just put if you use regular paper and you try to put water on it, it's just going to buckle up. But on here with the cardstock, it's much thicker. So these are all watercolor pencils, and you can tell because each one has a little imprint of a paintbrush on there, and that tells you that it's a watercolor paintbrush. And regular colored pencils do not have that, so they're not going to work the same way. So we're going to use a water brush today. So I have a couple of them here, and you just open it up and you put water inside. So it's a little water brush. You could use a regular brush and a cup of water just as easily. So we're going to start coloring a little bit in Payton and Milo Go to the Beach. These are available on my Etsy store. I also have a book coming out. It's actually a children's book. These are fun for anybody. But the book is kind of geared towards children, and it has Payton and Milo in it. But it's about nature and insects and bugs, so it's really for anybody, but it's a children's book. But I think everyone will enjoy it. All right, well, with that, I think we should get started. We're going to take a quick peek at Payton and Milo Go to Starbucks. So I wanted to be an artist and a barista. So I'm a barista, and I do the artwork on the chalkboards for Starbucks in Thomasville. And so I created this coloring book for our store. And these are my characters, and so now I'm doing other books and other coloring books with them. They're having other adventures, but they're just fun. So Payton and Milo Go to Starbucks. This is Payton, this is Milo. And I have a thing for ants, so I've been into ants for about almost a year now. All right, Payton and Milo like Starbucks a latte. All right, this is where you laugh. Payton loves cake pops, but today he will have a blueberry muffin warmed. That's it. Payton and Milo love an acai refresher on a hot day. Payton and Milo are subscribing to Jody Drawn Out on YouTube for more coloring fun. So there you have it. Even Payton and Milo are subscribed on my channel. Ask about paint parties at this Starbucks. I do paint parties at our Starbucks, so a little perk for me. Payton and Milo wish you a grande day. This is the second coloring book, and this one is printed on cardstock. So if you do order one from Jody Drawn Out on Etsy.com, This one is on cardstock, and you'll be able to use watercolor pencils, and that's what we're going to do today. So Payton and Milo go to the beach. Payton and Milo sure love to spend time at the beach. Payton and Milo are building a sandcastle, but their new friend is being shellfish. Milo wants to race, but Payton is still learning how to fly. Where there's a will, there's a wave. Best friends always sand together. Now, this is a perfect time to order some coloring books with your kids because everybody's home right now and stuck in the house. And so I thought it was a perfect time to start introducing these. So, and I think that you're going to enjoy doing the color pencil, the watercolor pencil. So if you have little ones, they can just use regular coloring pencils. And if you want to color along with them, you can use some watercolor pencils and teach them how to use watercolor pencils. All right, so I just need to pick out some colors and get ready to get started. I'm going to do a quick demo. His sneakers are red, but I don't have a red watercolor pencil. So I'm going to use a regular red pencil, and that's fine. You can mix up both of them. Use watercolor pencils and regular coloring pencils. And we're going to do very basic because that's the best way to start and the best way to learn is by doing simple things and then gradually doing things more involved. Just like editing. I never edited before, and now I'm doing longer films and more involved films and, you know, more and more editing and adding things. So you got to start somewhere. So I'm going to do I'm going to do the umbrella first because it's a large area, and then you'll be able to see how simple it is. So we're just going to color in the corner. Doesn't take a lot. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on here. My watercolor brush is going to move my color around, so isn't that fab? Now I can do this side, but I'm going to want to wait to do the middle. You can just remove that. I bled over a little bit, so a little bit of water just takes it out. However, I don't want to do my green yet because I don't want my orange and my green to blend together. And that's fine if you're doing something where you want the colors to blend together, say in the sky, if you're doing multiple blues and you want the blues to melt together, then you wet everything at the same time. But in this case, I want my green to be green, I want my orange to be orange. I'm not using it like this. I'm really using it more on its side because I want this color to be soft. Now again, if you want to make a darker color, you can go more aggressively, or you can wait till it dries and you can do another layer. hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you get your kids into coloring and watercolor pencils or just regular coloring pencils. It doesn't matter. Crayons. But coloring is enjoyable, and I know everybody's looking for things to do with their kids right now, and even yourselves. So Payton and Milo are super fun, and they're going to be around for a while. They've got more adventures to share with you. So again, this is cardstock. It's not real watercolor paper, but it still worked well for what we were doing. You just don't want to get into like doing actual watercolor painting on it because it's not watercolor paper. But for what we're doing, just simple color blending and little washes of coloring, watercolor pencils, it's perfect and it's so much fun. I really enjoy watercolor pencils. All right, I hope you had a great time, and we'll see you back here on Thursday for a new project.